Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Love of Money podcast with Shakira, and today I'm going to talk about the debt ceiling. What's going on with the debt ceiling? That is one of the things that is in the media, one of the things out of all of the multiple things that they are talking about. So I just thought I would go over it briefly, give a quick definition of what's going on and what are they talking about. So basically, there is an issue with the debt ceiling and they have set a deadline of October 18th to figure it out. And so basically, the government has a statutory deficit limit where they set this limit and they say we are not going to go over this limit. So, say for example, you have a credit card and you charge your credit card up to $10,000. And so now you need to decide, are you going to work off paying this $10,000 of debt off, or are you going to ask for another 10,000 so that you'll have $20,000 of debt instead? So that's what's going on with the debt ceiling. That's what they're trying to figure out. And the decision is, do we want to pay off the bills that we already have, or do we want to continue spending more money? So they've given themselves a deadline of October 18th to figure it out, to decide if they're going to raise this debt ceiling. Are they going to raise this? The example I gave you, are they going to raise this $10,000 credit card to $20,000? Are they going to raise the debt ceiling? So, what happens if they decide not to raise the debt ceiling? There are multiple things that could happen, but the two main things that could happen would be a recession or a default. So, basically, there is a borrowing limit where they are unable to issue new debt. So they're either going to go over this limit, spend more money, or um, they're going to raise the credit limits. They're going to either raise the credit limit and spend more money, or they're going to focus on paying off the bills that they already have. So that's what they're deciding. Like I said before, the deadline is October 18th. There are a couple of bills that are waiting to be passed in the Biden administration. They have been stalled by Congress. These are the bills that you've heard of: the infrastructure bill, the spending plan. Um, these bills are currently being stalled in Congress. So if these bills pass, what they are concerned about is that the bills will result in increased inflation. And as you know, increased inflation means increased prices for everybody. So they generally keep an eye on inflation, and their goal is to keep inflation down. So what they're concerned about is if these bill passes, the infrastructure bill, the spending plan, that it will result in inflation. So it's currently stalled right now. Um, so that is what is currently going on. If they decide not to raise the debt ceiling, then that will be consequences that they have to deal with. So it has to be decided by October 18th. And based on what they decide, we will see whether we end up in another recession or a default, financial calamity. That's what they're deciding. Do they want the world to be in financial calamity or not? That's the bottom line. So that's what's going on in the media right now. This whole talk of a debt ceiling. Are they going to raise the debt ceiling or are they not going to raise the debt ceiling? October 18th is the deadline, and that is what's currently going on. I just thought I'd come in and share with you and give you a clear, basic example of what is going on. So, this is the Love of Money podcast. If you like this podcast, please share it with one other person. And please hit the like and subscribe button. And please leave a comment. Thank you for listening.